court to God. The white man is the devil.
You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And they claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white man. Need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone be. Boy, ass need to stop and ask you to profit. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. Oh, he cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed it up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world to know. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga, gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, Jeremiah, we'll pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to wrong with step. I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent. I got it. Let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no losses. Ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high. Got your baby pants through the fire. Ask you the prophets. That baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Plus your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga.
I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. And we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep them fiending. If any try to shoot you, make sure that you leave him leaking. He said,
I'ma hold you down when problems pop up.
How you got me moving this dope? Want me in lockup? He said,
Don't you want the Benz vertible with the top cup?
Yeah.
Stop, bitch, you get in that kitchen, let it rock up. Bitches love the dope boy, especially when it's wop up. I know you know Ron.
Who the plug from by the block up?
I'll tell you a little secret, make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Trips to the Bahamas, just got a whip for his mama. He fucking up them commas, be honest, he seeing decent though.
I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. In fact, he ain't looking too good. His knees is kind of slow. I asked him why the struggle. He got stuck up for his bundle, but them 6 hollow tips in his legs what made him crumble.
He got a house and mama is living good.
Said the feds took it all, he right back in the hood. I see you try to play me, you gave us crack in the 80s. Made us abort our babies and making hoes out our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than them cars when to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the clouds, so you don't faze me.
I guarantee that you gon' regret it, remember I said it.
Nah, you could dead it.
What you saying, I can't win?
Nah, devil, nice try, so until we meet again,
I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils, and we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious, but we've been getting fucked and put to the side like a mistress. Police patrolling why? Because prison became a business. They murder one of ours and they start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives mattered when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropping bombs saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the Boston bomber. But when we riot, they send the military in armor. When we fight oppression, then our people die a martyr. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to settle the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights patting me down. You got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I gave up my vice. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And Your Honor, why you gave our homeboy's life? I've been wondering why you shot our homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from Habibi's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's trife, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. As Trayvon, Mike Brown, Akai Gurley, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando, Olden, Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils, and we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils, and we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil and said, I pray you die, every devil.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is Priest Officer Tawaga Bar, the I.S.U.P.K, under Captain Gadahar, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And we're about to get in. This is the Law and History class. I'm going to go into some history, of course. I'm going to be talking about birthdays and some other things. So let's clap it up. Ain't been here, wasn't here last week. Y'all know how it is. We always got brothers to fill in. That's the beauty of brotherhood, is that when you can't do something, you can always lean on your brothers to come and help you out. Lean on your brothers to stand in for you. You know what I mean? We can't be individual lights. We can do it all. That's how you get ran into the ground. That's how you have a hard knock life trying to do everything on your own and never asking for help. That's a demon. A demon will tell you not to ask for help. Your pride will tell you not to ask for help. Excuse me, brothers being binds, sisters being binds. You might be going through some things, but you don't open your mouth and ask somebody for assistance and help. That's what the brotherhood is for. I'm sure everybody has heard the phrase, brotherhood is a weapon. It actually is a weapon, but we've been taught in America to be individuals. We've been taught to be to ourselves and to only think about ourselves. And, we are the masters of our own destiny. And, everything that shapes our reality is by our own hands. When the Lord had never designed us to be that way. The Lord didn't design the Israelites. He didn't birth us to be a people unto ourselves and be individuals. He made us to be brothers and sisters and to lean upon one another in hard circumstances and through all situations. So, so I'm gonna get into it. There was a story that I was trying to find, or I couldn't find it because I didn't have enough time. But it's one of these conscious community Negroes that basically he got 16 years. Maybe you can look it up. He got 16 years. His name is like Rashad something. I don't know his last name, but he's on, he's one of those people that, sell crystal rocks and, believe in government conspiracies and teach black people that we are gods and that, we are the masters of our destiny. And he just got brought up on charges for molestation, abusing a child. He's got 16 years. Now, this is somebody with a big following. It sounds familiar. It sounds very familiar. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like Polite. That's what it sounds like. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. A lot of all of them, they are like Christian pastors. They do the same thing that happens in a Christian church. You see that, that molestation. You see men sleeping with other men's wives. You see all type of evil and wickedness in what is supposed to be the house of God. Well, these conscious community people, these brothers and these sisters that speak, let's go back to Africa and Pan-Africanism, and you found it? Go ahead and read the story for me.
An online prophet with a huge following has been convicted of child abuse.
He was an online prophet. Go ahead.
Rashad Jamal, a New Age prophet with a huge online following among historic black communities, has been convicted of child molestation and cruelty to children.
What's his name again?
Rashad Jamal.
I'm sorry, read it from the top again.
Rashad Jamal, a New Age prophet with a huge online following.
A New Age prophet. Back in the day, like a few years ago, they used to have this thing called New Age religion, like New Age Christianity, like a new way to think about God and to go about, worshiping God, or really just worshiping yourself. Go ahead.
A New Age prophet with a huge online following among historic black communities has been convicted of child molestation and cruelty to children.
Good night.
According to court documents obtained by Motherboard, a Georgia judge sentenced him to 18 years in prison.
Hold that. Let me see. What's his name again? I'm gonna try to pull it up on the screen.
Rashad Jamal.
Rashad Jamal. I ain't seen none of the brothers' videos, but let me just pull something up. Let me just. I want to see what he's talking about. Grand Rising. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let me share this screen. I'm gonna go in here. Now let's see what he's talking about.
Right. So in the beginning, it truly was just darkness, dark matter energy. But however, I keep telling y'all, the black woman, Latino women, if you want to call them that, because they're not even women, right? When you say the term women and men, you're talking about a physical, material existence. We exist beyond these bodies. We are multidimensional beings, meaning we live in different. These are just our avatars, just like in the movie, how Jake Sully was able to transfer his consciousness out of his body into the avatar.
That's enough. I done had enough. This brother reminds me of what's his name? Young Pharaoh. Just by the way he talking, reminds me of Young Pharaoh. Let me see. Let me close this out. Read it from the top.
Rashad Jamal, a New Age prophet with a huge online following among historic black communities, has been convicted of child molestation.
So black people and Hispanic people, because he had, I think one of the articles I seen, it said that he had a liking towards black and Hispanic women, right? You just heard him say that we not in these bodies. We're like Avatar. We're like the movie. And he's talking about that video was titled the Nunkai, right? Or the Nephilim, or whatever they be talking about. When it comes to these people, man, Our people are so lost that a fast talker and a charlatan, somebody that seems smart, just like young Pharaoh. Then later on, he was brought up on charges for beating the hell out of his baby mother, right? They seem so spiritual and so wise, but yet they fall to fleshly desires in the same things that broken people fall to. Just like a Christian pastor. He's a slick talker. He has a lot of charisma. He knows how to, speak and orate, and that draws people in. Well, he had his whole following was based online. They said he had an online following. He didn't have a church. He didn't have a building. He had an online following. Right? Go ahead.
Following among historic black communities have been convicted of child molestation and cruelty to children. According to court documents obtained by Motherboard, a Georgia judge sentenced him to 18 years in prison and 22 more on probation.
18 years in prison. I mean, if the charges is true, he deserved that. You know what I mean? But more importantly, this is what you trust in as Black and Hispanic people. You trust in people like this. You trust in Christian pastors, a quote unquote online prophet, or what to say, new age prophet. You trust in men like this, and time again they fail you, and it turns out to be a situation like this. This is no different than R. Kelly. This is no different than celebrities that you love and that you follow, and that you adore and you idolize, and then the next thing you know, they ran up on charges for doing the most heinous thing you could ever think about. Right? Give me what I want. Matthew 7:15.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 15.
That's right, young man Jay. That's right. They false prophets.
Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing.
The false prophet comes to you in sheep clothing. The false prophet comes to you with this package that looks really nice on the outside. Everything looks right. Everything looks like it's set in place. The Bible says to beware of this type of person, or this type of prophet or leader or man of God or spiritual man or woman. Because there's a lot of women like this that are just like Rashad, just like Polite, just like what's his name? Young Pharaoh. Go ahead.
Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing.
They come in sheep's clothing. Go ahead.
But inwardly they are ravening wolves.
So they come like they're trying to help you. They come like a sheep, harmless, non-threatening, can't do you no wrong, can only do you good. You can put your guard down around them. Come in sheep's clothing, but what?
But inwardly they are ravening wolves.
But inwardly they are ravening wolves. Getting a following is like an addiction. Because if you get a following, you can then what? You can earn money on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram. You could actually earn money. So that becomes an addiction. So imagine if you're a false prophet. Like, it's one thing to be one of these people online and have a community and you're just doing comical skits. You're not teaching nobody. You're just doing comedy, right? Or you have a following and you're just working on cars. Everybody likes the way you describe how you fix a car. So you have a mass following. It's another thing when you're trying to teach people about spirituality and about God, and you are a false prophet, and then you gain this following, and that empowers you to want more. That empowers you to keep going and to keep making videos on, the unknown and conspiracy theories, and we're avatars and we're not in our real bodies, like the movie Avatar. It empowers you, and that's dangerous. So you're a ravenous wolf for the fame, for the attention, for the money, and you're not helping anybody. You're destroying families, and you are destroyed yourself. As in this case, it shows. This will always happen. This ain't the first time this has happened. This is not the first time there was somebody that led God's people, that people trusted in, black person that people trusted in and looked up to, and then kind of find out they're touching little girls. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last time. Keep reading.
Verse 60. You shall know them by their fruits.
You shall know them by their fruits. You could drop that. You shall know them by their fruits. Like a tree that's going to drop bad fruit or good fruit. You should know them by what they produce. They produce more nut heads. They produce more weed heads. They produce broken people who have been molested. I just seen a video with a brother that was part of the LGBTQ plus 1, 2, 3, 4 community, and he was broken, telling his story of how he was molested. Him and his brother would be left home, and they lived out in the country, one of them states down south, and everybody would be gone doing their thing, and they had this uncle that would try to molest them, and they used to run outside and hide in the woods. And the brother said he used to get on the ground like military style, just crawl in the grass, hiding from his uncle that wanted to try to molest him. But he was destroyed. Now he's an adult, and he's dressed like a woman. But he's in tears telling his childhood. That's what these people produce. That's what happens when you molest children. They grow up and be in the LGBTQ. They be destroyed because they're so broken. They don't even know what they should be. You know what I mean? And that's what this brother produced. That's what he's produced. That's the fruit he produced. Now you got people that's his followers that's saying, "Oh, it's a government." I think if you keep reading, it will say something like that. You don't have to pull it up, but his followers are saying it's a government conspiracy. You know how they say, like, oh, they trying to take him out. We know why he took him out. He's speaking too much truth. They took him out because they don't want the truth to get out. What truth? That he's molesting little girls? That was it on that precept, right? This is the problem with our community. We trust wolves to lead us. We trust people that don't care to lead us. That's been our existence in America since the time of slavery, being led by our people that have been using the Europeans' religion, our oppressors' religion, to teach us and to prosper. But it has been to our hurt when you look at our communities. Our communities are destroyed because of this same thing. That's why I said Rashad, what's his last name? Rashad Jamal, the online prophet that had millions of followers on all platforms, who is now locked up for 18 years for molesting a child, is no different than your Christian pastor who does the same thing, or the celebrity who does the same thing, or your uncle who does the same thing in your own damn household. So we have to decide what is the truth, what is going to fix us. We know what the truth is in the I.S.U.P.K. We know what the truth is. We've seen the results of what the truth can do. We've seen the fruit of what the truth produces. We've seen the fruit. We've seen the fruit of what Christianity produces. We've seen the fruit of what Islam produces. We've seen the fruit of what all of these other religions produce in our community. And we also witnessed what the truth that came through the I.S.U.P.K. in 1969 has done for so many Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, even if they're not in the truth, right? Because you have a lot of people nowadays that are, on TikTok and, like Rashad, telling all this truth, telling you all of these things that are out the Bible, all of these things that you never knew. But where do you think that came from? Like, they have a form of godliness, but they deny the power, or they deny the truth, though. So they'll take bits and pieces and say, This is a hidden truth, part 1. Did you know that angels are black people? But the brother that's telling you that, he don't even believe in the Bible. He just heard it from somebody, but it originally came from the I.S.U.P.K. And these bits and pieces are everywhere. Why don't you come home to the home of the truth and get in line with the Most High? And then you can actually really teach it without, having no issue or where you stand at. You know what I mean? So let me get I'm gonna drop that. Let me get we want to go into real quick. Give me Romans 8 and 28. Romans 8 and 28. Yeah, the Christian church is full of that alternative lifestyle, crisscross every which way lifestyle, whatever you want to do type of lifestyle. They approve of it. There is no resistance in how you want to live or your choices or whatever when it comes to the Christian church. As long as you putting that money in that tithing bucket and you there on a consistent basis, that's all the pastor and them care about. But you miss one time coming to that church, then they're gonna say you done changed. They're gonna say you ain't the same no more. You done backslid. What's wrong with brother? What's wrong with brother Talibert? I ain't seen him. He was here the week before. Man, he done backslid. He probably he done went back to them drugs. He done went back in the streets. You know what I mean? They have no faith and they have no love for God's people. You understand? Like if a brother in the truth, right? And I don't see the brother in a while, and he, I think like, maybe he got something going on. Maybe he's, got a job or something going on, or maybe he's just going through some things. But I say, Lord willing, that brother will be back. I don't condemn the brother and say, damn that brother. He came from this. That's probably where he at. I don't say that. We don't say that. You know what I mean? Give me what you got.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
Right. All things work for us, especially in the truth, because we're called to the purpose of the Most High. The purpose, your purpose, a lot of people don't even understand their purpose. And Esau and his world have our people so mixed up, thinking your purpose is this and that. You can imagine just like a bubble above your head, and it's just this choice, that choice. And we just think that our purpose is supposed to be all these different things, when it's very simple what the Lord created us for. He created us to be priests and prophets of the Lord. He created us to be a righteous nation before him. That's what he created us for, to serve him, to live a righteous life. He didn't create us to be, I got to get the bag, and I gotta trying to get this career, and I got 2 degrees. I'm going to get another degree. Then I'm going to go undergraduate. He didn't create us for all of these things we think our life is supposed to be about. That thing that you think your life is supposed to be about, it comes from inside of you. That's your flesh being in this world, telling you what you should do, where you should go. You should, I need to plan a trip. I need to do this. I got a bucket list. I want to do this. I want to live this way. All of those things are irrelevant to the Most High. The Lord takes care of his people. You ever notice that when it comes to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, and I was talking about this with a longtime friend of mine, I said, you never really see us on the streets like that unless we're either on drugs or we got mental issues or disabled in some type of way. You never see us living on the street like that. If a brother or sister got their right mind and they're in their right, they're in their right place in their mind, they're not on the streets. It's only the destruction of America why you even see Black and Hispanic and Native Indian people on the streets. Like, you have to be doing something real, real low selling your body, doing drugs, you know what I mean, selling drugs, or you just have some issues as far as your mental state, and you can't get the help and the treatment that you need, and you end up on the streets. But the Lord takes care of his people, even with the oppressor's foot on our neck. He take care of us, right? So your purpose is to serve the Lord, right? We are called according to the purpose of the Most High to be priests and prophets and to be a righteous nation before him, not to be twerking on the street. I mean, twerking on social media, seeing who can, get the best car with the biggest rims, and all of those things are irrelevant to the Most High. He don't give a damn about those things, right? That comes from your flesh. Give me 1 Corinthians 6:19.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit which is in you?
Right. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, of the truth. Go ahead.
Which ye have of God, and ye are not your own.
And you are not your own, meaning your purpose, once again, is not to do what you want to do with your body. That is a demon through our oppressor speaking to our women, saying, do what you want to do with your body. Have that abortion. Dress like a whore. Do what you want to do. No one is your father. No one can tell you what to do with your own body. And our women have taken they have being naive. They have eaten the fruit again in modern times. Do what you will with your body. Who cares about your body count? Who cares? Why does it matter to them that you smoke weed? Why does it matter to them that you pop pills and you smoke cigarettes? It's your body. That's what goes through people's heads when we say, don't smoke weed. Smoking weed, the Lord is against smoking weed. Their brain tries to figure out ways to make it okay in their mind. Well, God made all of it. If he didn't want me to smoke it, why did he make it? Right? There's a lot of things that the Lord made that right away you're not supposed to put it in your mouth and eat it. There's other plants that you could light a torch to, and you could get a chemical reaction, and you could get so high you lose your damn mind. But I don't see you doing that. I don't see you just grabbing any random plants. You get high because your oppressor got high, and your oppressor said it's a recreational drug. It's a fun-loving, fun-time drug. It's a hippie time. Woodstock. Also, it is also the way of the heathen. We brought that out weeks ago. With that, all that weed smoking was to worship the god Shiva, which later I found out was actually a man. Somebody came in the comments, one of my videos, and said Shiva is a man. In all the pictures, Shiva looked like a woman, right? So I said, I guess Shiva is a part of the LGBTQ because he got a whole bunch of arms, got body parts of a woman, looks like a woman, but the gender is a man according to people who actually worship Shiva. No disrespect, right? But yeah, your body is your body is not your body to abuse and to destroy. Keep reading.
Verse 20. For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body.
You are bought with a price. What was that price? What was that price? We were bought with a price. Christ. Christ died, a black man, a nigga God. Jesus Christ, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yahawashi Mashiach came from the ghetto, was born and lived a life just like his brothers, and died, put his life on the line and died so that we could be reconciled to the Most High, because the Most High wasn't dealing with us anymore. So Christ became a mediator, in between the nation of Israel and the Most High, so that we could be back in that covenant, so that we could, so the Lord now remember the promise he made to Abraham and that seed, and Christ came out that seed, and he was the mediator to bring us back to the Father. That was the price that was paid. So now it's time for us to pay the price back. Now it's time for us to put our foot forward and serve the Most High and glorify the Most High before the whole world, and walk in a way and live in a way where brothers and sisters in the world, or even heathens in the world, or the oppressor in the world, can look at you and say, now that's a righteous man. That's an excellent woman right there. I don't agree with what she believes in. I don't know what they're doing over there in that building, but the way they conduct themselves, the way they say who they are and they live up to it, I have nothing but respect for these people, right? Glorify the Most High, be a light to the world. That's what we're supposed to do in these bodies. Right now, we are a cancer to society. I'm sorry, but we are what's the song, My Booty Hole Brown? That is Black culture right now. Can you believe that? That is what we've become as far as our people. You look at our sisters, you look at our brothers, and that's where we're at as adults. That's how the world looks at us. We are looked at as pimps and hoes and drug dealers and people who are reckless and have no regard for human life, the way we kill one another. We're far away from what we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to be living and glorifying the Most High. And you can thank, number one, your oppressor. Number two, the Christian church, the religion of Christianity that is still practiced even with Black people today, right? Give me Proverbs 22:6. Because a lot of times our people grow up and think that, okay, I came out how I'm supposed to come out. No, you came out how your parents raised you. A lot of times you look at brothers and sisters as adults in their behavior, it's directly connected. I ain't gonna say a lot of times, every time, it's directly connected to how they were raised. Now, you probably heard this saying, who raised you? Like, who raised you? When you see somebody doing something that is just unacceptable and silly, you say, who raised you? Well, this precept speaks to that. Go ahead, read.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
The Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should go. You train them up in the way that he should go. When you get trained, like you go to the military, you get trained. You get a new job, you get trained on how to work the machinery or how to do something or task at that job. The Bible says to train up your child in the way, and when they are old, they won't depart from it. Did you read that part? It's in my head, so like it. Read it from the top.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So you train up your child in the way they should go. You teach them etiquette. You teach them manners. You teach them how to say thank you and you're welcome, and how to open doors for people and how to say excuse me. But you also train them up and say, you're not supposed to celebrate Christmas. You're not supposed to celebrate birthdays, which I'm going to talk about tonight. And you're not supposed to love everybody. You should love your people first. You train up your children in that way, and they won't never depart from it. Christians say it's a coin toss. Like, I don't know how my kid going to turn out. Yeah, you can do the best you can, but you never know how they're going to turn out. Well, if my kid turns out to be LGBTQ, I'm going to love them anyway. That's the Christian church for you. But the Bible says to train up your child in the ways that they should go. The problem is that we train up our children, Black and Hispanic people. You train up your children in the ways of your oppressor. That's why your children, it's a coin toss of however they're going to turn out, because you train them up in the ways of America, the ways of the oppressor. the ways of the devil. You train them up in the ways of the heathen, which is completely opposite. You can't train up your child in the ways of the heathen and then be surprised if they turn into a goddamn heathen. If they start living a life of a heathen. And when I say life of a heathen, I'm saying like an unlawful life. They grow up and turn into the biggest drug dealer in the world. They grow up and turn into a gremlin, shooting everybody and then getting locked up for the rest of their life. That is our reality in our communities. Literally, from the cradle to the grave is where we go, or from the cradle to the prison bars is where we go in the Black and Hispanic community. Many of us have seen the bars, and it's damn near like we can't escape that reality or that fate. And it's all goes back to how we train up the children when they're young. Don't laugh at your children when they do, wicked things and bad things, but that's what we do. We think it's funny when our kids is cussing and, acting like they grown when they little. That ain't no damn joke, man. So we instill a lot of traits in our kids that turn them into monsters when they grow up. You can drop that. Give me Proverbs 1:1. Let's get some people in here.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. Verse 2. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning.
A wise man will what?
Will hear and will increase learning.
A wise man will hear and increase learning. That's part of your purpose too. Not just to hear and just hear and things go in one ear and out the other. You're supposed to be constantly learning. You know what I mean? Everybody, look, people don't know everything. Not everyone doesn't know everything, but that's not an excuse to stop learning and stop increasing in knowledge. The Bible says that a wise man will what?
A wise man will hear and will increase learning.
He will increase learning. When I first heard the truth, the truth was different to me. It was alien to me. I had never heard it my whole life, but it was a knowledge that made me increase in learning. So it made me study to see, is what these brothers saying really true? Because I never heard it before, but it sounds good. So let me look into this. Let me increase in learning. And the truth made me broaden my horizons, so to speak, and open my mind wider than it had ever been. Right? Keep reading.
And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels, to understand a proverb and
what verse you on?
Verse 6. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
And you get all of this from the fear of the Lord. Read that again.
Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So your purpose also is to increase in knowledge. It's to increase in learning and listen to wise men speak to these, I forget how I said it. Read it with the counsels. The precept word talks about counsels one more time.
Verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels.
A man of understanding shall attain to wise counsels. Right? And now remember, what I'm talking about is your purpose. So I went over, what we are called to God's purpose. We were bought with a price. We spoke about our bodies, not just being our bodies to do whatever we want to, because we were bought with a price by Christ. right? Christ paid the price, so we should glorify the Most High because we got a second chance. And now we're talking about a wise man that is gaining and understanding his purpose. Also, he attains to wise counsels. Keep reading.
Verse 6, to understand a proverb and their interpretation, the words of wise and their dark sayings.
Right. So in order to understand these dark sayings in the Bible, what we call the mysteries, you got to attain to wise counsels. You got to listen to brothers who have got this truth since 1969 and got these breakdowns since 1969. You hear these breakdowns with all these fake Israelite groups and people that's not even the truth nowadays. It's spread all over the world. But a wise man will attain to these wise counsels so that he could understand these dark sayings in the scriptures. Because a Christian can read the Bible and they won't understand what we're saying, what we're talking about. There are people right now that can hear me speaking right now and they won't understand what I'm breaking down, even though I'm breaking it down out of the same Bible that's in their grandma's house, that's in their pastor's church. They won't understand the dark sayings of the Bible, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You don't just get knowledge because you're reading a whole bunch of damn books in the library. It's the fear of the Lord that gives you knowledge. It's the beginning of your knowledge. Go ahead.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
But a fool will despise wisdom and instruction. A fool will hate the truth. A fool will fight back, and it will seem like they got a problem with you. They don't really got a problem with you. They got a problem with God. They don't really got a problem with you. It's the demon on them that is fighting the spirit of the Lord that is on you. That's all it is. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
You can drop that. That was verse 8. Give me Psalms 37 and 3.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 3. Trust in the Lord and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Verse 4. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee desires of thine heart.
See? So whatever is your purpose, whatever is the thing that you desire, that you want, first you got to understand your first purpose is to serve the Lord, to live by the laws, statutes, and judgments of what the Most High says. And then the things that you want, you will get those things. But the Lord has to come first. That has to be your first purpose. That has to be the first thing that you think about every morning. In order to fight your flesh, in order to even be successful in the world, you have to serve the Lord. That should be your first purpose, right? And you'll do good. You know what I mean? You'll get the things that you desire, right? So we're gonna drop that. I'm gonna switch gears now. I'm gonna go to talk about birthdays. It's not something that we haven't talked about before. It's not something you don't know about, but it's good for instruction and reproof, and for brothers and sisters that might be, looking at class for the first time. So if you could give me 1 second. Give me Jeremiah 10 and 1.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
The Bible says to learn not the ways of the heathen. That's rule number 1. That's all the way in the law of Moses. We're not supposed to live like these other people. We're not supposed to seek their peace and their prosperity. And it says to learn not the ways of the heathen. So I'm going to show you tonight that celebrating your birthday is the way of the heathen. Celebrating your birthday, I know it seems like a good thing. You know, you have birthday, you know, people have birthday get-togethers, and it seems like it's harmless, but it's not your culture. It's the way of the heathen. It's another people's culture. What is your people's culture? You should be asking yourself that question. If you're a Black and Hispanic Native Indian person, Black and brown person that celebrates birthdays, you should be wondering, was this something that your ancestors did? Or is this just something that you got from your oppressors, the people that conquered your people? That should be a question you should try to answer. So that should be that's homework for you Black and brown people that celebrate birthdays. Go and see if your ancestors in antiquity celebrated birthdays. You know what I'm saying? What I want, give me Matthew 14:6. Just hold that. Matthew 14:6. Because here's the thing, man. We look so weak, especially what in the hell it looked like a grown man blowing out candles, a grown woman blowing out candles. And you know, when it comes to birthdays, if you really test the waters, a lot of people that celebrate birthdays, nobody would even remember their birthday. You have to go on social media and tell people, hey guys, my birthday is this date. If you didn't do that, nobody would even remember your birthday. No one cares. Everybody just cares to come get drunk, get high, and have a good time. That's it when it comes to birthday. Now I'm talking about adults, right? You know, but it's something that you think about. You like, man, it's so weak. It looks so weak and so childish. The same as with a man, you know, holding a damn sparkler in his hand at 4th of July. Like, you look like a clown, right? That is not what the Lord wanted us. This is not how the Lord wanted us to be. But slavery and being destroyed here in America, of course, we are weak as hell in following our oppressor and his ways. So give me what I asked for. I'm gonna show you. It's 2 instances where birthdays were celebrated. Now I'm just going to preface this by saying birthdays were not like a birthday how you think today. Birthdays were a day of feasting and probably a day of killing and sacrificing. Birthdays had nothing to do with cake and, you know, presents and candles in ancient times. All right. So go ahead and give me that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verse 6. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Verse 7. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. Verse 8. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, give me here John the Baptist's head in a charger. Verse 9.
So on Herod's birthday, this daughter, she danced before him, right? Then he asked her, what did she want? She said, give me John the Baptist's head on a charger. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And the king was sorry, nevertheless for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her.
Keep reading.
Verse 10. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison. Verse 11.
He did what?
And he sent and beheaded John in the prison. Verse 11. And his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother.
So John the Baptist was beheaded on Herod's birthday. That's in the Bible. Now the Israelites didn't celebrate birthdays. And even if you want to talk about, during Roman times, early Christians didn't celebrate birthdays either, right? Not that it means anything, but the Israelites, this was not an Israelite custom. Now, if you could give me Genesis, what I want, so like here, Genesis 40 and 20. I think that's what I want.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 40, verse 20. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday.
Which was what?
Which was Pharaoh's birthday.
Once again, this is Pharaoh on Pharaoh's birthday.
Then he made a feast unto all his servants. And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among the servants.
Now, just to speed you up, this is when Joseph was locked up. Joseph was locked up for basically the Pharaoh's rib, or his wife had accused Joseph of trying to get at her because she ripped some of his garment. He got out of her hands. He refused her. He rejected her. But she had Joseph locked up. She told the Pharaoh that he had came on to her or whatever. And Joseph was in prison with a butler and a baker, and they wanted to know what their fate was, and he told them what their fate would be, right? So go ahead from there.
Verse 21. And he restored the chief butler unto the butlership again, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted to them.
So the butler was restored to his position, but the baker, he was hanged on Pharaoh's birthday. These are the two instances where birthdays are even mentioned in the Bible, right? So this is what you can write these precepts down, because this is your birthday breakdown to cut any Christian or anybody that celebrates birthdays, but they also say that they believe in God. All right. So where I want to go right now is give me Job 1 and 4. Job 1 and 4. You see, in ancient times, even in Egypt was the first time where you've seen birthdays. And let me just say, birthdays were not like how, I'm going to say this again, they were not like how you see a birthday today, how you think of it today with the cake, the candles, the birthday party and all of that. No, it wasn't like that. It was more of like a feast day where it might be sacrifices, or in this case, people getting put to death, and entertainment and all of that, all kind of lasciviousness, all of those type of things going on. Nothing, nowhere near like how you think a birthday is today, right? Although Black and Hispanics do get killed on birthdays, do get shot on birthdays, that does happen, but not in the same way as it would have happened in ancient times. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day.
Mm-hmm.
And sent and
it said his sons went and what?
And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day.
Every one his day. Okay, go ahead.
And sent and called for their three sisters to eat and to drink with them.
Okay.
Verse 5. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all.
So now you can stop right there. But if you read the story of Job in the first chapter, where we at, 1 verse 4, it says that they went and they celebrated, or they feasted on their own day, right? And a lot of people think that that is talking about a birthday. You think it's talking about a birthday? Why it's not talking about a birthday? Because Job was a God-fearing man. I mean, I'll take that. That's a good answer. Well, you are right. It's not talking about a birthday, right? It's saying on their own day. So the reason why I brought up this precept is because fake Israelites will say this is about birthdays. This is not about birthdays. It doesn't, like you said, Job was a righteous man, right? On their day could just be a party. it's lawful to have a party. Black and Hispanic people have parties all the time. There's nothing wrong with having a party. Now, when you talk about a birthday party, then now it's unlawful because of what it comes from. Now, so I brought up Job 4:1 just to make that point that this is not talking about a birthday with Job's sons, his children having a feast on their days. This just could just be a get together on, just a random party, completely lawful. All right. Now, what I want to go into is, if you could, I want to get what I sent you. The second one. Yeah, give me the link. Yeah.
There is an affinity of such commemoration among the wicked as recorded in the Satanic Bible. Anton LaVey, Air Book of Lucifer, The Enlightenment Avon Books, 1969, chapter 11, Religious Holidays, regarding birthdays. The highest of all holidays.
Now I want you, Salakia. Now I want you to listen very carefully. This is Anton LaVey. He is the founder of the Satanic Church of America. All right, go ahead.
The highest of all holidays in the Satanic religion is the date of one's own birthday.
The highest of all holidays in the Satanic religion is the date of one's own birth. Go ahead.
This is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of other religions, which defy a particular God who has been created in an anthropomorphic form of their own image, thereby showing that the ego is not really buried. The Satanists feel, why not really be honest? And if you were going to create a God in your image, why not create that God as yourself? Every man is a God if he chooses to recognize himself as one. So the Satanist celebrates his own birthday as the most important holiday of the year. After all, aren't you happier about the fact that you were born than you are about the birth of someone you've never even met? Or for that matter, aside from religious holidays, why pay a higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to a date in history that when we do to the day we were brought into the greatest of all worlds, despite the fact that some of us may not have been wanted, or at least were not particularly planned, we're glad, even if no one else is, that we're here.
So he's basically, what the satanic Satanists believe is that your birthday is basically that's the highest of holidays because you are worshiping yourself. It's called self-worship. And you should be glad that you were born. You should be, ecstatic more than anything else. Any President's Day, birthday, any, birthday of anybody else, you should be more happier about the day of your birth. That's what he's saying. You could drop that. I'm gonna read a little bit more. So it says, after one's own birthday, the two major satanic holidays are Washpurzinach and Halloween, or All Hallows Eve. The solstice and the equinoxes are also celebrated as holidays, as they herald the first day of the seasons. So this is the founder of the Church of Satan. He's telling you this is a high holy day in the Satanic Church for the fact that you are, on your birthday, you are worshiping yourself. You're putting yourself above God. You're putting yourself above everyone else. You're putting yourself above anybody else's birthday. And your birthday, you should be, happy and celebrate your birthday with, so much. You should celebrate your birthday over everybody else, basically, right? Your birthday is everything. It's the end all be all. And that's how we celebrate birthdays. If you really look at us, that's how we celebrate birthdays. Like, birthdays in the Black community is like It's all about me. It's, I'm having a birthday bash. My birthday, I'm having a birthday, at the club. Come out. And these birthdays always end bad, right? But it is a form of self-worship. It's also like if you think about social media has actually helped that because social media has made people worship themselves even more by taking selfies and pictures after pictures after pictures. Well, birthday is the same. You're putting yourself in the place of God and you want to be worshiped and you want to be on a pedestal and you want everybody to remember your birthday and to bring the right presents and to do everything right and give you money and cash app you and do all of these things, and it's all about you. Some of you are just like heathens. You celebrate your birthday every day of your birthday month. Have you heard that before? Some of them will say, it's my birthday month. We turning up all month. We turning up, every day of this month, we gonna turn up. That's a lot of y'all. Well, that's what the heathens did. That's what the Egyptians did. That's what the Romans did. That's what the Greeks did. They all did that. They all celebrated their birthday. That month, they celebrated every day. The only problem is this is not in the Bible. The only problem is you are not Egyptian. The only problem is you are not Roman. The only problem is you are not Greek. You are not European. You are God's chosen people. And the Lord said, don't do it. He hated. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Let me get what else did I send you? Let me see real quick. Let's see. 1 second.
The origin of cake and birthday celebration.
Oh, yeah. So give me Psalms 10 and 4. And then we'll get to that. We'll get to that link. Give me Psalms 10 and 4.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God.
So the Bible says the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. Go ahead.
God is not in all his thoughts.
God is not in all his thoughts. When you celebrating a birthday, who in the hell you think at that birthday party, including the person whose birthday it is thinking about the Most High, or thinking about if they're doing things according to what the Most High say? It's not in his thoughts. But you know what is in his thoughts or in her thoughts? Worship me. It's my day. It's my birthday. I hope everything goes right. I hope he gets me this for my birthday. I hope she gets me this for my birthday. Did they put any money in the presents? It's my birthday. Yay, look at me. It's my day. It's all about me. I don't got time for anything else. They're not thinking about the Most High. They don't give a damn about the Most High. They have no clue that the Most High is against it. And that's why you hear about people getting shot at birthdays. You hear about the person whose birthday it is getting shot. You hear all type of stories that, it's just hell at birthdays. Like just the same as a club. Same atmosphere as a club. You understand? What else? Give me Salakia. Give me Proverbs 16 and 25. Oh, you know what? Let's get that. Let's get what I sent you. Yeah, just hold that and let's get what I sent you.
This is the origin of cake and birthday celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
In In ancient Greece, worshippers brought moon-shaped cakes to the temple of Artemis, the goddess of the moon and the hunt.
Wait, slow that down. Read that from the top again. Let me pull this up for him.
Origin of cake and birthday celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
In ancient Greece, worshippers brought moon-shaped cakes to the temple of Artemis, the goddess of the moon and the hunt. The Greeks set to baking moon-shaped cakes and decorated them with lit candles so they shone like the moon.
So this is where you get the roundness of the cake from. Now this is a Greek vase that I got up here. Now this is history, right? This is a history class and a law class. We done went over things pertaining to the law, and we definitely went over things pertaining to history. This is a Greek vase from the ancient period, right? And you can see they have a cake, and they would make these cakes round like the moon. And then they would put the candles in the cake and light it up so that it would be bright like the moon. In reverence or in worship or offering to their god, their goddess, Artemis, the moon god or the god of the hunt, right? So let me just break it down real quick. The Egyptians had the birthday. The Greeks came with the round cake. And then we're gonna get some more. The Romans. Go ahead.
The Romans baked the first birthday cake. They made cake of floured nuts, yeast, and honey to celebrate weddings and the occasional 50th birthday. Only if the boy was a famous citizen, and women's birthday weren't celebrated anywhere until the 12th century.
So the Romans, they baked the first birthday cakes, right? They made the cakes, they hooked them up and they made them for weddings in occasional 50th birthdays. Like when you turn 50, or they occasionally make it for what? For youths? For children?
Only for boys.
For boys.
Only if the boy was a famous citizen.
Okay, so you would have to have a lot of money to have a birthday cake. You would have to be somebody famous in ancient Rome in order to have a birthday cake. I'm just showing you this was not even something that everybody did. Now we live in a society where everybody is celebrating a birthday. Well, the origins of a birthday cake is not, everybody didn't do that, right? Hold on one second. Go ahead and read.
Kids' birthday parties became a thing in Germany. The Germans probably first celebrated birthdays in a manner similar to how we do today. In the 18th century, Kinderfest was a party held for children.
Mm-hmm.
Held for children. In the morning, a cake was topped with lit candles. The child did not blow them out, though. Instead, they were left to burn all day until after dinner when the cake was eaten.
So in Germany, then they came with the cake, the actual birthday parties, the party with the cake, but the cake had candles that were in it all day, and then the cake was eaten at night. But this is I'm going to recap. In ancient Egypt, you had the birthday where it was just a feast, had nothing to do with a cake or candles. Then you had the Greeks that came with the moon shape, the circle cake with the candles. Then you had the Romans that actually were making cakes for special occasions. And if it was a famous boy, he would get a birthday cake. Then you had the Germans that actually had parties for the kids with the cakes and the candles. Then you have us in America today celebrating birthday parties with cakes and candles and blowing them out and making wishes and, what do they say at birthdays parties? Maybe you have another one. What is, I forgot. Well, happy birthday songs and all of that, right? That's what it's turned into. But it is the way of the heathen. Now I don't care if you black, you're Hispanic, and Native Indian, if you African, this is not your custom. You know what I'm saying? This is not your custom. You know what I mean? Not that I would care, but I'm just saying, like, this is the way of the heathen. If you could give me what I want, Proverbs 16 and 25. 16 and 25.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
There's a way that seemeth right. It seems right to celebrate a birthday. It seems like it shouldn't be nothing wrong with celebrating a birthday, and you having a good time. You thanking God that you done made it to another age, and all of that good stuff. It's supposed to be a happy time, right? Read it again.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
There's a way that seems right. I know it seems right to celebrate birthdays, and it just seems like it's the right thing to do. And why wouldn't you? And it's all I know. And my mama did it, my grandparents did it, my grandparents did it. And it seems so right in your heart, so right in your mind. But it is the way of death. And why do I say that? Because the Lord said that we are not supposed to live this way. It is the way of the heathen. The Lord said, do not be like them. Don't live like them. And if you ever wonder why somebody could lose their life on their birthday, that is the reason why. You ever wonder why something bad can happen at a birthday party? That is the reason why. You ever wonder why, a bad thing could happen to a child at a birthday party? That is the reason why. We're not supposed to be celebrating. For the same reason that a bad thing could happen on Christmas, on Halloween, on Thanksgiving, on Valentine's Day, on any of these holidays that was given to us by our oppressor, that are not even from our people, that are not our customs or our culture. You understand? That is the reason why. If you could give me 2 Timothy 3 and 1. 2 Timothy 3 and 1. Because part of the problem with the birthday thing in Black and Hispanic people pulling away from that culture and that way is the fact that we are people who love ourselves. We want to worship ourselves. We brought it up earlier about self-worship. You see, self-worship is something that's really growing. It's damn near a religion where people feel like what they do and how they live their life is everything. And what God says to do is nothing. God says don't celebrate birthdays. That's nothing to people. They say, I want to live it up. I'm going to make myself happy. I'm going to love myself. My destiny is in my hands to, make myself happy. I'm going to love myself more. I'm going to enrich myself more. I'm going to, go places more. I'm going to celebrate my birthday, the whole month of my birthday month. I'm going to live life. It's the pride of life. It's the flesh. You know what I'm saying? It's the way of it, it's the world. It's the love of the world when people are celebrating birthdays, or when they have a philosophy where they just going to do everything to make themselves happy. What about making God happy? What about doing what God says? What about your purpose that God has for you? You think your purpose is to enjoy life and do whatever you want to do with your body. Make the choices with your body however you want to make them. It's so bad that Black and Hispanic people don't even see the choices that they make. And let's just say you're sleeping around and you have children and now the man leaves you. You don't even charge yourself for making a bad choice in the man. You don't even charge yourself for making a bad choice in the woman. You try to escape accountability and say it's them. But meanwhile, you're making all of these bad choices, trying to fulfill your flesh and trying to serve yourself rather than serve the Most High. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the days that in the last days perilous times shall come.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves,
Mm-hmm.
covetous, boasters, proud,
Lovers of their Salakia, lovers of their own selves. Someone that is a lover of their own self. We living in that time where you see that's everywhere. Lovers of their own selves. Lovers of their own selves, taking selfies and pictures and, you know, showing people what they do and, you know, trying to have the best birthday party ever. Trying to outdo the last person. My birthday is going to be bigger. We're going to have it on a yacht. We're going to have my birthday party on the top of a skyscraper. We just rented out this whole hotel, and we're going to have my birthday party there. Because my birthday is important. It's my birthday. What you talking about? It's my birthday. You're not coming? That's the mentality. Lovers of themselves. Lovers of themselves. Like Anton LaVey said, it is the highest form of self-worship. It's a high holy day in the satanic cults to celebrate your birthday because you make yourself a god. You make yourself a god above the Most High. The Most High ain't even in it. If the Most High was in it, you wouldn't be having a birthday. If you even consider what the Most High thinks about the birthday, if you ever open the Bible, you wouldn't even be having a birthday. The Most High is against it. He's against the ways of the heathen. You know what I mean? And you're, according to history, according to truth, you're following the ways of the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Europeans, and the Germans. You're following the ways of people that are not even you. Why don't you learn your damn culture, man? Go ahead.
Verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud,
coveters, boasters, proud. This all goes with the birthday. You're proud. You proud. You proud because of the day you were born. You proud for being born on the day you were born, you did nothing. You was a bubblehead baby that was crying, and the doctor had to cut your umbilical cord. And they had to had to clean your nose out and your mouth out in order for you to breathe. You didn't do anything. It's not, you were born. But the Bible says you was bought with a price. Your body ain't your own. Salakia, your body ain't your own. And you shouldn't lean on your own understanding of what's good, what's right, and what's wrong. You should open the Bible. You should learn the law, statute, and commandments to know what's good, what's right, and what you should be doing. And celebrating a birthday is not nothing. Listen, brothers in here, this brother's been in the truth 10, 11 years. It don't hurt not to celebrate no birthday. The same way it don't hurt not to smoke no damn weed. It don't bother you one bit. It's many things you can do in the truth. You could have a party. Just not a birthday party and celebrating it how they do with the cake and the candles and the balloons and singing happy birthday. Those are customs that are heathen customs that come from another people. If you want to have a party, just have a party, but not on your birthday. You could have your birthday, the day you was born is one day. You got 364 other days where you could have a party. You could have the best party on planet Earth, and it's not lawful. I mean, it is lawful, and you're not breaking no laws according to God. You good, you Gucci, right? If you could, where we at? You could drop that. Give me what I want. That was Timothy. Second. Well, go ahead and finish it.
Verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own self, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with celebrating your birthday. You're a lover of pleasure more than you're a lover of God. And that's the first thing that come out your mouth. I thank God for my birth. You making it to 35. I thank God for, making it to this age. God ain't even in it. You're not actually considering the Most High, because if you considered him, you wouldn't be doing it. You wouldn't celebrate birthdays. It's not going to hurt. That's another thing. A lot of y'all think y'all going to hurt your kids by not celebrating birthdays. Listen, some of my kids ain't celebrate birthday their whole life, and they don't feel like they missing a damn thing. They ain't missing nothing. You are actually hurting them by celebrating birthdays. You are destroying the chance that they have with serving their God, the God of Israel, the God of the Bible. That's what you're doing. If you could give me Ecclesiastes 7:1. That's what you're doing when you do everything for your children as far as celebrating their birthday. Listen, it is not hard to serve the Most High, to keep the law, statute, and commandments. It is not grievous. You understand? It's not a hard thing. It takes some determination, but it is not hard to put down weed. It's not hard to put down Christmas. It's not hard to put down birthdays if you love the Most High and if you want the Most High to be on your side. Some of y'all, if you don't really understand how much danger you are in, or you putting your children in when you do these things. It's supposed to be a good time, but it can turn into a tragedy real quick. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment.
The Bible says that a good name is better than precious ointment, because you see, precious ointment in ancient times was hard to come by. As something that smells good, some perfume, some cologne, a good scent. It was hard to come by, and it's valuable. It's valuable. Somebody that would have that, you would think they the man or they the woman. Read it from the top.
Come. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment.
A good name is better than precious ointment. Now you have you get this ointment that costs all of this money, and even today, if you know about fragrances, a lot of fragrances, colognes and perfumes, the real good ones, they cost money. They ain't cheap. Now they make the what you call it, the imitations and all of that, which your boy, I snatched one of those up quick. But the point is that in ancient times, this was something very, very hard to come by. But you know what's more harder to come by than that is a good name. The Bible says a good name is better than precious ointment. Your reputation. When somebody says your name, they say that's a good brother. That's a good sister. The Bible says it's more precious than that, than fine ointment. Go ahead.
And the day of death than the day of one's birth.
And so the day in the Bible also says that the day of your death is better than the day of your birth. The Lord just took a dump on birthdays. He said a birthday is meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. The day you die, and I said this, I recently was at a funeral at a friend that I grew up with, and I said this to the congregation of people. I pulled out this precept just for this purpose, to let them realize that the day of your death is better than the day of your birth. Why is that? It's because you got it. Tell me.
Like you said before, like celebrating your birthday is like celebrating you doing nothing.
Right.
And your death is celebrating all the things that you have done, the work that you have.
That's right. That's correct. Celebrating your death is looking back at a whole lifetime of things that you have done, accomplishments, trials and tribulations that you got through, triumphs, and looking back and memories, good memories that you have with your family, your friends, and all of those things. The day that you was born, you don't have no memories. You don't have no triumphs. You don't have, you ain't won no awards. You ain't did nothing. You just crying out. You're helpless. You're a helpless little baby. You can't do anything. But the point is that the Bible says that the day that you was born means absolutely nothing. The day that you was born is less than the day that you actually die. So just to wrap it up and bring it home, the Bible is against celebrating birthdays. God is against celebrating birthdays. And if you're celebrating birthdays, you are putting yourself in harm's way, especially once you hear the truth. Now, it's one thing to be in the world and doing your thing and you celebrating birthdays and you don't know. It's another thing when you know what a birthday is and you've heard brothers in the I.S.U.P.K tell you you shouldn't be celebrating birthdays and you still do it. Just know that the axe is at the roots. Just know that on this supposedly supposed to be a good occasion, things can go really wrong and it can become a tragedy. So I just hope everybody's got that breakdown. Understand that we're not supposed to be celebrating birthdays. Birthdays are deep rooted in our culture, but our culture is deep rooted in slavery and following the oppressor. And so once we realize that, and once we accept, not realize it because we know it, once we accept that we are basically a carbon copy of white society, we're a copy of American society, and start to try to pull away and find our culture and come back home to this truth, then we can let go of birthdays and all of these holidays without no problem. So with that, that's the end of the class. I'm gonna wrap it up. The water to all the brothers and sisters that stuck with me. We'll be back once again next Wednesday. Shalom, Israel. Let's clap it up. Let's wrap it up.